the growth priorities will be kept absolutely on the top. Even as I speak about the concerns that inflation brings before me. So inflation concerns will have to be addressed, but then how would you manage growth would be the natural question. But that's the point of, being sure how you're going to be able to balance the two and be sure that the momentum that Indian economy has got coming out of the pandemic and the momentum with which it will grow even the next year, even as per the very many multilateral institutions which are observing India, cannot be weakened. So it will have to again be a very carefully structured budget in which the growth momentum will have to be sustained. Energy, fertilizer are all becoming expensive. As a result, in some parts of the country, not so much for us, there is severe food insecurity. We are in a position to export. But if our input costs are going up, or if our farmers themselves come under stress, export and the global understanding, multilateral institutional compulsions don't help in exporting food that easily. And this is a bane of some understandings which have been given a play since the Uruguay round. And we've been in every WTO meeting talking about it, saying it shouldn't be so. Those who were working in different heavily industrialized parts of the country, they themselves coming from different parts which are not so industrialized, who generically are being called as migrant laborers, went back to their villages. All of us knew about how they went back. Some of them went back with the trains which were provided, others found their own way. But when the pandemic subsided, and when they had all been given also the vaccinations, many of them didn't go back to their old employees. They went looking for better jobs and found them, and therefore there is this good churn that is happening in the Indian economy, and therefore the government's effort for skilling and upskilling is also being ramped up now. And the nature of employment itself is now also getting very speedily ramped up. And that is why I'm not surprised, and I'm glad to quote, Honorable Prime Minister mentioned that India probably can lead the Industrial Revolution 4.0. I have engaged, Prime Minister himself has engaged with the startups to know what they want from India, and we kept as much as possible addressing their concerns. Now, as a result of which, not purely as a result of which, but also because of which, you saw unicorns coming to reach 100 in number within 1 year of 2020 and 2021. All at one go, you saw one after the other. Now, I've heard this from others as well. They're moving to Singapore, they're moving to UAE. Well, if they want to talk to the government of India and say, look, we were moving to Singapore, but if you were to do this, we'll quite happily be here. And if after hearing it, if it's possible, we'll certainly attend to them. So I would think continuous engagement with the startups is what is going to help for them to, one, remain and do better within India. But if there are temptations for which they would want to go outside, we need to understand how much we can entertain and serve on those scores. Not all of them are possible, but equally we can try. Singapore, UAE have all come forward now to make RuPay acceptable in their countries. Not just that, the UPI, the BMAP and everything else, NCPI, are all now being worked in such a way that their systems in their respective country, however robust or otherwise, can talk to our system, and the interoperability itself will give strength for Indians' expertise in those countries. We are working together with several countries.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.